Exterior, Coruscant, space. The eclipse appears from light speed. The city glows beneath. First Order Sentinel ships protect the capital from space. Interior, Eclipse Destroyer, bridge, space. Leia spins around in the chair once occupied by Admiral Akbar.
Send the fleet to planetfall. Surprise is the only advantage we have.
Interior, Eclipse Destroyer, docking bay, space. X-Wings and Razorcraft fighters speed out of the bay, followed by troop transports and cargo dropships. Poe races toward the Falcon. Chewie and BB-8 follow.
No, we don't have enough pilots. Get out there and do some damage. I don't know, pick one.
Chewie looks around. He spots an orange X-Wing. He cocks his head. Interior, First Order Capital, Command Deck, day. Hux enters the command deck overlooking the boulevard. Smoke rises between the buildings.
Chancellor, we've detected a ship in orbit. One of ours, but with unrecognized signature codes.
It's the stolen eclipse. Summon all destroyers to the capital. We can end this uprising and eliminate the resistance in one triumphant day.
Exterior, Eclipse Destroyer, space. The Millennium Falcon rockets out of the bay and joins the Resistance attack fleet. The Sentinels unleash hell, assisted by a squadron of TIE hunters launching from within. Poe is inundated with blasts from the larger ships. A trio of hunters bears down on the Falcon, then explode in succession. Chewbacca's X-Wing zips overhead, eliminating the enemy's ships with precise, focused shots. Interior, Chewbacca's X-Wing cockpit. Chewie wears no helmet. BB-8 chirps from the droid socket. Interior, Falcon, cockpit. Poe raises his eyebrows, impressed.
That's one hell of a pilot.
Exterior, above Coruscant, space. The Eclipse unloads a super laser on the Sentinels. They explode as our attack fighters and transports descend through the billowing fire to planetfall. Exterior, Coruscant, Imperial Boulevard, day. Whomp. The AT-MT's Walker foot stomps down the boulevard toward the First Order capital. The new Resistance army moves with it, thousands now, some with blasters, others with nothing but clubs and passion. Finn marches out front with Rafe and his rebel troopers. Dade rides out of the top hatch of the head of the AT-MT, speaking through the booming broadcast speaker.
Rise up! Join the fight!
Small bands of revolutionaries appear from side alleys, a trickle building to a stream, building to a river. But a distant sound silences them. Lockstep boots, 1,000 riot-suppressing Mandalorian brute troopers, bulky, armored mercenaries with heavy shields and arm cannons. The sun cuts through the fog, revealing the extent of the capital's defenses. Advanced tanks and walkers, new designs we've never seen. Finn holds the line at the sight of the oncoming forces.
Stand your ground.
Finn and the stormtroopers are hit with fire from all sides. On, R2-D2 and C-3PO walking through lasers. A First Order astromech droid, R808, rolls to a SCOP terminal on the side of a flip tank and plugs into it. R2-D2 beeps urgently.
He's sending a distress signal. Stop him!
Nobody's listening to C-3PO. R2 beeps furiously.
Me? I'm not programmed for violence, R2.
C-3PO steels himself. He hustles through laser fire and rips open the back panel of R808.
I do apologize for this.
He reaches into the droid's innards and pulls circuits out. R808 beeps in distress, adding to C-3PO's horror.
Please go quietly.
One last yank and R808 sparks out. Tips. Hits the ground. R2-D2 quickly plugs into the vacated SCOMP link. Sends his own command. The belly railgun stops, spins, resets, and fires on the brute troopers. Finn climbs up onto the flip tank past C-3PO, who frets over the inanimate shell of R808.
I've done horrible things. I may never be the same.
Shadows glide over the long boulevard. A squadron of TIE bombers crater the boulevard ahead of them. Geysers of concrete spew upward. They're about to be decimated, when a fleet of X-Wing and B-Wings dive from the sky. The Resistance ships fly through the trench of buildings and hammer the bombers, spinning them into explosive collisions. Finn, Rafe, and the stormtroopers cheer the skies. Resistance transports land on the boulevard behind them. Stolen First Order AT-ATs, AT-STs, and attack speeders emerge from the cargo doors. They are heavily modded, painted with revolutionary colors, eyes, and teeth. Resistance troops pour out of the landing transports.
Feel that?
Finn swells with hope.
We are the Resistance, all of us!
Exterior. Temple of Mortis. Night. Rain pounds on the gray stone, lit by flashes of blue and red. Lightsabers clash as Rey and Kylo fight mercilessly on the steps of the temple. Ancient statues crumble. Rey stops them in midair, pushing them back.
I could have been your teacher.
Rey loses ground, doubts herself, stumbles.
I could have ended your pain.
Rey slices Kylo's mask, shearing the bottom right half clean off, revealing the flesh beneath. He removes it. Eye to eye now, she parries and attacks.
You're weakening.
Kylo allows Rey's barrage to hammer him, taking careful, controlled counterstrikes through her wild assaults.
The last glimmer of a dying light.
Kylo strikes a wicked blow across her face that instantly cauterizes a scar from her left cheek to her forehead. Rey's lightsaber drops to the stone. She falls to her knees and screams, clutching her eyes. When she opens her eyes, the world is an abstract blur of light. She's blinded. Kylo stands over her, lightsaber pointed to her heart. Rey looks up. She's crying blood. Rey falls backward down the stone steps, motionless.
Goodbye, scavenger.
Kylo enters the Temple of Mortis, leaving Rey blind and bleeding on the steps. Exterior, above Coruscant, space. The Falcon buzzes the surface of the eclipse, picking off attackers. Chewbacca's X-Wing flies right with it. Whoom! Finalizer Star Destroyer arrives from hyperspace. It fires on the eclipse, hitting the deflector shields. Interior, Eclipse Destroyer, bridge. Leia swivels in her chair, conducting the revolution.
Engage starboard cannons.
Exterior, above Coruscant, space. Gun ports on the side of the eclipse open, pushing out 20 massive ion cannons like a pirate ship. They fire in unison. The finalizer stutters from the barrage and explodes. Interior, Eclipse Destroyer, bridge. Leia clenches her fist amid cheers of victory. Whoom, whoom, whoom. 10 more destroyers arrive at once, an armada of sizes and classes. Her confidence drains.
Come about!
The eclipse turns on its axis and unleashes hell. The lasers light up the dark like Christmas. The First Order destroyers fire back faster and more propulsive than we're used to. Their relative scale to the eclipse lets us feel their speed for the first time. Exterior, Coruscant, air battle, day. The Resistance ships weave and glide between buildings, firing on the TIE hunters at window level of the profiteers who financed this conflict. A tight squadron reaches the capital itself. Their leader, Elo Asti, sends a pair of homing missiles into the structure. They hit big. Ion cannons on motorized swivels rise up from the structure's roof, blasting ships out of the sky with deadly precision. Interior, First Order Capital, War Room, night. Chancellor Hux watches a holographic representation of the air battle.
How is this not over?
It's the stolen dreadnought, sir. Our fleet isn't equipped to engage a ship of that magnitude.
I mean, all of it!
Boom! An explosion rocks the capital, flickering the lights. Interior, First Order Capital, corridor, day. Rose sneaks through the crisp white hallway. She ducks into a recess. A procession approaching. Commander Selleck in the center of it.
Ready the hyperdrive.
Rose holds a gasp. The capital is a ship.
In the unlikely event our defenses are breached, we'll make the jump to lightspeed.
She watches the First Order techs break away. They scan the ID bars on their uniforms and disappear through a door. Rose sneaks to a window overlooking a vast, architectonic abyss encircling the spine of the capital. Attached to the spine like a vertebra, the cube transmission jammer. Completely encased in armor with no bridges or access points, she cannot reach it. She removes those confiscated First Order ID bars from a hidden pocket, scans the door. It opens. Interior, First Order Capital, navigation room, day. Rose creeps into the control room, stacked with nav consoles.
Prepare for surface disengagement. Ready engines for hyperspace.
He gets a look.
Purely precautionary.
She slips behind the consoles and opens a panel in the floor. Interior, navigation subspace, day. Rose crawls down into the subspace beneath the control room, surrounded by the wired computer towers that power the hyperdrive. The texts are still audible above.
Ready to set coordinates, sir.
Plot a course for the Forbes system.
Rose opens a panel to a hyperdrive computer's motherboard and goes to work. Interior, Millennium Falcon, cockpit, space. Poe zips between a pair of burning destroyers as they collide behind him. Swarming ties and chaos outside his cockpit.
Chewie, get down there. They need you. I've got this under control.
He doesn't. Interior, Chewbacca's X-Wing, space. BB-8 beeps frenetically. Chewbacca spins and dives, breaking into the atmosphere. Exterior, First Order Capital, day. Chewbacca's X-Wing descends to the Capitol, weaving through the grid of lasers fired upward by the ion cannons. He makes an attack run over the cannon arrays, taking out several turrets with one continuous, dizzying display of aeronautical badassery. Interior, Chewbacca's X-Wing, day. Alarm warnings, multiple lock-ons. TIE fighters swarm around Chewie, ganging up. BB-8 chirps, concerned. Chewie roars, also concerned. Blam! They're hit. Chewie maneuvers over Monument Square, spinning into a dive. Exterior, Monument Square, day. The orange X-Wing makes a distressed landing, knocking over the brute troopers in its path as it comes to a screeching stop.
Save that pilot!
Finn and his squad blast their way toward the crashed ship. He climbs onto the wing. BB-8 beeps frantically.
BB-8?
The cockpit opens up. Chewbacca roars.
Chewie, where'd you learn to fly like that?
Before you were born. A fresh batch of heavy AT-MTs emerge. Cannon fire rains down from the Capitol above. This revolution may not last long. Interior, Eclipse Destroyer, bridge, day. Leia is wary but steadfast.
Change our plane of attack. Don't let them line up on us.
Connix interrupts Leia urgently.
General, our agent on the inside is contacting you.
We have an agent on the inside?
Connix activates her comm speaker.
The Capitol is a ship! Rose? Slow down.
Interior, First Order Capital, control subspace, day. Rose is patched into a comm terminal, sparks falling around her. Hot wired cables string between CPU towers.
They're gonna leave the planet. I can disable the hyperdrive, but I need the key codes in R2's memory drive.
R2's with Finn. Patch her through.
Finn's alive?
Exterior, Monument Square, day. Finn takes cover behind a fallen AT-ST and yells into his comm.
Rose, you're alive! Stay where you are, we're coming for you.
Interior, First Order Capital, control subspace, day. Rose rolls her eyes. She's about to save everyone's ass.
Great. Listen carefully. I need R2 to transfer me the hyperdrive keys before this thing takes off.
Hyperdrive? Where are you?
There's a Scomp Link terminal at the base of the Capitol. I'll have a direct connection to him from there. Got it?
Exterior, Monument Square, day. Finn looks around frantically.
R2! Where are you?
He spots C-3PO and R2-D2 behind a flipped tank. He races to them and grabs R2-D2.
We need to get you to the Capitol.
Master Finn, we're more suited for rear unit duty.
Finn looks out at the battlefield, eyeing the path to the base terminal. First Order transports touch down ahead. Even more brute troopers spill out into the square.
None of this matters if we don't reach that terminal.
R2-D2 beeps, determined.
For glory? What are you saying, R2? There is no glory for droids.
Blam! R2-D2 takes a direct hit from a cannon blast. He hits the side of the tank and falls hard. There is no comical squeal. He's silent and scorched black, unmoving.
R2? R2!
Chewie, cover us!
Finn hunkers over R2. Chewbacca stands tall, firing away.
R2! R2, say something!
Finn waves smoke away from R2's burnt body. The droid's circuits are dead. No power.
Those codes are in here somewhere.
Finn opens a panel and removes R2-D2's memory drive.
Sorry, buddy.
BB-8 rolls up, ready for duty. Finn opens the compartment in the droid's round body and inserts R2's memory drive.
It's all up to you now, okay?
Into his comm.
Rose, send BB-8 the terminal coordinates. He's got this. You got this, right?
BB-8 nods, silent, focused. His moment.
Covering fire!
Finn, Chewbacca, and the stormtroopers cover as best they can.
Go! Go!
BB-8 dashes into the battle. We stay right with him, tracking past a barrage of explosions and laser blasts. Through the moving AT-MT's legs, narrowly missing craters and fallen brute troopers. Finn watches the little guy from afar, inspired. He looks around at the wounded resistance, cut off and surrounded, fighting for survival. Boom! An explosion knocks Finn off his feet. His ears are ringing.
Fall back!
Finn yells to C-3PO, still kneeling over R2-D2's fallen body.
3PO, we have to move!
C-3PO looks up, hands on R2's scorched head, emotion like we've never seen from him.
I can't leave him.
Finn is speechless, crushed by it all. Chewbacca reaches down and heaves R2-D2's scorched shell up onto his back. With one arm blasting and the other securing R2-D2, he and Finn race toward cover. Chewbacca gets hit. He stumbles, but keeps going. Chewbacca is hit again. He falls to one knee, almost drops R2-D2, but he stands up. Finn's eyes tear up as they fire back at impossible odds. This is how it ends. Interior, Millennium Falcon, space. Poe watches enemy ships slip through their strafing attack formations and descend toward Coruscant.
We'll have no chance down there if these reinforcements make it through. We need more ships.
Interior, eclipse, bridge, space. Another Star Destroyer appears from hyperspace, and then another, and another. Leia watches the numbers shift even more out of their favor.
Luke, I'm sorry.
Duel of the Fates.
To podcasts and such.